Candyman? How could you let us down? There's only one person who can save us now. We need you, Willy. Willy's Wonderland has to be the horror movie to save us in October. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. We've got some movie news to talk about today, and I ain't even gonna sugarcoat it for you guys. It is a lot of sad, depressing news in the movie industry. Not only are we gonna talk about some of the delays involving the only great horror movie that was set to come out in October, we have a TikTok star getting their own movie, Sony Pictures making an announcement that could really delay some of their other big budget films like Venom 2 and Ghostbusters Afterlife. That and so much more, guys. So look, I get it. Times are tough. The world is still crumbling, but we gotta hold it together, man. I bring these videos to cheer you up, not to bring you down. So like we always do on this channel, try to look at the bright side of things. Comment down below what you think of all the things we discuss here today, as well as hitting that like button just so I know I didn't spend half my day making a video on all sad news in the movie industry. But before we get into the downer stories, you guys know if I can find a smaller up-and-coming movie that I think sounds interesting, I'm gonna bring it forward to you guys. And I think this one might excite a lot of people. We had the Hollywood Reporter yesterday come and report that the people who brought us Game Night are set to bring us an animated horror movie entitled Stray Dogs. Now, this is kind of a big deal because we don't really get 3D animated horror movies hardly ever on the big screen that are headed to theaters. Most 3D animated movies, 99% of them, are made for children. But ever since the pandemic and how it's just flipped Hollywood on its head, making it so impossible for them to be able to make any sort of movie without someone getting sick and then having to delay production, animated movies are growing in popularity with studios because people can animate them at home with computers. Actors can do their voice work through the phone at home, believe it or not. So it only makes sense that if animated movies are the easiest thing to bring forward to new audiences, we're gonna get ones for adults. Details about the comic created by Tony Fleece and Trish Faulkner are being kept on a leash, but it's being described as Silence of the Lambs meets Lady and the Tramp. This is gonna be based on a horror comic that has not yet been released. It'll be released in 2021, but just that description alone that we are gonna be getting a 3D animated movie that centers around a bunch of dog characters, and it's described as Silence of the Lambs meets Lady and the Tramp. So, okay, some of the things we can digest from there is the Lady and Tramp element. Okay, so there's some sort of love story here. Maybe a rags to riches situation where a domestic dog meets an outside dog. But the Silence of the Lambs part is what's getting me mind boggled, because are we about to see a movie about cannibal dogs? I don't want to see that, but I kind of do. Or is that just more in line of a mystery element added to it? Because Silence of the Lambs is a Hannibal Lecter movie, and a lot of those Hannibal Lecter films just have a mystery element to them. Elaborating more on what this movie could be like, this is what the team behind the film had to say. So much of what makes horror work is taking something innocent and twisting it into something scary. Like a doll in Annabelle or a clown in It. That's what we want to do in Stray Dogs. Take animation and twist it into something terrifying by using it to explore a really dark story. For me, the project combines a lot of passions: animation, horror, and, well, dogs. You guys know I've used my dogs in intros before. I'm a big dog lover. I have 3 of them. I'm also, obviously, huge horror geek. I like me an animated film here and there. This is exactly in my wheelhouse. I'm really looking forward to it. How do you guys feel about studios bringing us more mature content and this kind of being the first 3D animated horror film? Alright, now buckle your seatbelts for the rest of Side Flick, because it's just gonna get depressing from here. The last thing I had to see before going to bed last night is the announcement that the movie Candyman, which was gonna be the horror movie I was most looking forward to in 2020 because, well, it was like the only horror movie coming out in October, has now been delayed indefinitely. And basically what that means is not only are we not getting Candyman this year in October, we don't even know when we're getting Candyman. There is no new release date as of me making this video right now. It's predicted that it'll come out sometime in 2021, but if any of you guys have been keeping up with the movie news here on the channel, you know 2021 is looking like a damn-packed year where we are going to have big movie after big movie after big movie. There really isn't a space for Candyman next year, so who knows where it'll end up going. A lot of the reason this happened, though, is because we finally got the box office numbers for Tenet, and, well, they were kind of poo-pooey. Nothing against Tenet at all. It was just us getting our first look of what a current pandemic world looks like with people traveling to movie theaters. It was so bad that this wasn't the only movie that got delayed. We also got the the announcement that Wonder Woman was pushed all the way to Christmas. But if you guys can take anything away from this bad news, and I know it makes us all upset, the fact that they're not dumping this just straight to DVD, which I know a lot of you guys out there would pay $20 just to see this at home. I know I would. But the real money is earned in movie theaters when they're working at max capacity. And if they're holding on to this movie and waiting for a time that they can release it in theaters, it's because they believe they have a winner on their hands. It can earn a lot more money going to theaters than just dumping it on VOD for people to see at home. So it kind of only excites me a little more to see this Candyman movie because I'm just so anticipating it. It's crazy that we were actually supposed to get this movie originally in June of this year if the pandemic just never happened. But obviously it's a bummer. How do you guys feel about Candyman getting delayed? Other crazy news in the world of Hollywood right now that just might make a lot of you go insane. We had the announcement from Variety the other day, they got the exclusive on this, that TikTok star Addison Rae has been cast in the remake for She's All That. Now for those of you guys who live normal lives and haven't downloaded the TikTok app, you're missing out because your boy's got a TikTok now and he's making content on there. I even made a TikTok about this specific story. So be sure you guys follow me when you get a chance at 3C Films on TikTok. Show me some love down there. It's great cringy content. But Addison Rae is one of these new popular influencers who's gotten famous through the app of TikTok. I don't mind the gal. I find her to be very pretty. I'm more of a Dixie man, but that's neither here or there. The movie in question that she is going to be starring in, though, is a remake from quite a popular rom-com that starred Freddie Prinze Jr. You guys might remember him from playing Fred in the live-action Scooby-Doo movies, and the basic premise of this film was that the high school jockey popular guy is challenged to take the dorky girl of the school and turn her into the prom queen. Well, with this remake now, the gender role is going to be swapped, and it is titled He's All That, where in this case, it'll be the girl who's the popular one trying to turn a geek into a prom king. Now, it doesn't say here that Addison Rae will specifically be playing the starring role. If anything, she's just most likely going to be one of the background friends of the main character. Nothing against Addison Rae, but as far as I know, the girl doesn't have any acting ability, so just to throw her own movie right away would be kind of crazy. Having her pop up in the background would be great for marketing, and as much as you guys hate it, the TikTok fan base is wild and crazy. There's going to be a whole bunch of little kids who were never going to see this movie, but because they'll see Addison Rae on the poster, they're gonna buy a ticket right away. I laugh and make fun of this, but hey, I joined TikTok for a reason because that platform is growing, can make people insanely famous. Nah, I'm already insanely famous here, right guys? Don't leave me. But it just goes to show you what Hollywood has to do to adapt in these times and bring in new audiences. How do you guys feel about a TikTok star, Addison Rae, getting cast in She's All That? Next story here requires a little assistance. Let me get my Stay Puft Boy out. Oh gosh, got some chum and change in here. Sony Pictures Entertainment chairman Tony Vinequera recently did an interview where he was talking about his studio's plans and his strategy for the release of his big budget movies. If you guys don't know, Sony Pictures has the movies Ghostbusters Afterlife, Venom 2, Morbius. These are films that we were actually supposed to get this year in 2020, but because of the pandemic, they've been pushed to 2021. And now, unfortunately, with his latest comments, it seems like we might not even see those movies in 2021. This is exactly what he had to say. When asked about how he's going to handle releasing movies during a pandemic, he said, "What we won't do is make the mistake of putting a very, very expensive $200 million movie out in the market unless we're sure that theaters are open and operating at a significant capacity." You'll see a lot of strange things happen over the next 6 months in how films are released and how they're rescheduled, how they're marketed, but once we get back to normal, we will have learned a lot, and I think we have found ways to do things that are somewhat differently and hopefully better. So basically what Sony Pictures is saying right here, while Warner Brothers, Disney, and all these other people start making plans for, oh, we're going to release this movie on VOD, we're going to keep pushing a movie back 2 months, every other week just until we feel the pandemic is safe, Sony is going, you know what? We're just going to hold on to our movies, and when everything is close to back to normal, then we'll give you guys these films. You guys already know I'm not the negative Nancy. I don't like to be the bearer of bad news or the a-hole. But you gotta admit, earlier this year when the pandemic was starting, we all thought by this time, heading into October, we'd be completely done with this thing. Things will be back to normal. Movies will be coming out. And it's just looking worse and worse for films every day. With that said, everyone is thinking that there's going to be this magic switch after December 31st leading into January 1st where everything will just go 100% back to normal, when that won't be the case. It's looking more and more likely from the comments that Sony has made that Ghostbusters Afterlife and Morbius could be delayed. I'd like to think Venom, Let There Be Carnage is safe since it comes out in June, and I just feel like that is several months away from us getting back to normal. What they mainly want is just for audiences to not have that limiting capacity. Like, if you guys know, if you go and buy a ticket right now, it cancels out other seats. Sony wants to release a movie in theaters when they don't have that limiting capacity. So I'm going to remain optimistic and say these films keep their release schedule. Do you guys think there's a chance, based on what the chairman of Sony has said, that they'll move these movies from their 2021 release date? But because I didn't want to end things off on a sour note here, there's a little update with Black Adam. This is the new movie starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He basically gives us an update not only on Black Adam, but the universe entirely and how Black Adam's character will connect to Shazam. This is exactly what he had to say on the project. Our entire production team and our amazing directors, John Colette Sarah, we all have unified giant ambitions for what we want to do with these characters and the JSA and all those members we're introducing, from Hawkman to Atom Smasher to Cyclone and Dr. Fate. It's an opportunity to put ourselves in the DC universe and really start to create a fun group of characters that audiences haven't had the chance to see, but that a lot of them are familiar with. Continuing on, we're working closely with DC in terms of what the plan is for how everyone fits in together. It's still in the works, but obviously Shazam exists in the Black Adam universe, and I can just say that we have very big ambitions for Black Adam and all of the characters that we're introducing. How they're going to connect with other characters is still all being laid out, but I think fans are going to be happy ultimately with the way we end up guiding it. Although I was never really extremely hyped for the Black Adam movie, you gotta admit, hearing Dwayne The Rock Johnson talking about the passion he has for this character and everything he wants to put into it, I really believe him. And with how hardworking and dedicated this man is, I think he really is putting in as much effort as he can to make this a big blockbuster franchise. Just even him there talking about the Justice Society of America and how he wants to bring those characters in that are pretty unknown to a lot of general audiences, but if done right, could be really cool to see an entire group of superheroes take on Black Adam. Even there with his tease that he's set in the Shazam universe, which we all knew that, and we're eventually getting this whole Shazam versus Black Adam movie. But beyond that, where he's talking about these big ambitions, The Rock has teased at DC Fandom that he wants to take on Superman, that he wants to fight Wonder Woman. I'm all up for it if they can pull it off. Does The Rock's comment on Black Adam and his direction for it get you excited? But that is just all the movie news we have going on right now, guys. Be sure to let me know your opinions down below on everything we've discussed here today. Don't forget to check out some of the merch I have here in the description. I really like these. Some of y'all already bought it. Remember, if you do purchase a t-shirt and send me a photo, whether on Instagram, my email, I will feature it here on the show. Be sure to subscribe for more movie-related content. Hit that like button. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Film Review. As always, I'm Chris. Take care.